Hi guys, today I want to run through 5 myths of women's self-defense that are going to get you into trouble. Myth number 1, fighting back will make it worse. Will it? Lots of studies have been done to show that actually when women fight back, most of the time they stop the attack. When they don't fight back, they don't. So what can happen if you do fight back? First thing that could happen is they could start hitting you. This is actually good for 2 reasons. First reason is that they have taken one hand off you to hit you, and that means you've got more chance of getting away. The second reason is that it's evidence. If you have bruises on you, or he has bruises or scratches or bite marks even, he cannot stand up in court and say that it was consensual. The other thing about fighting back is that women that fight back most of the time recover mentally quicker. The other thing about fighting back that you have to be aware of is threats. He may make threats to you. He may say things like, I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to tell everybody you're a slut. Just remember that's all it is, it's a threat. Myth number 2 is strangers. So there's a misconception that the person that's going to rape you will be a big, ugly, hairy stranger that's going to jump out of the bushes at you. And this might happen, but 9 times out of 10, it's actually going to be somebody that you know. It could be a family member, it could be a family friend, it could be even the guy that you're dating. They may do it at a party and slip you a date rape drug. Just so you know, the reason that they slip you a date rape drug is because it's faster acting. It has the same effects as alcohol, but reacts a lot faster. Okay, so a couple of tips for you if you do end up at a party and you are drinking is cover your drink over. Go in a group. Make sure that there's a sober friend to be able to look after everybody, and know how you're going to get home just so that you have a plan before you go out. Okay, so an attack can start off with something quite innocent, like a little bit of consensual kissing or a little bit of groping or heavy petting, something like that. But it can soon escalate into something that you don't want to happen. Don't be afraid to say no. If an attacker knows their victim, most of the time if they say no, they will stop the attack. Moving on to myth number 3, my personal favourite. The only self-defense I need is to kick them in the groin. Okay, I have a couple of questions about this. Number 1, what if it's not appropriate? Number 2, what if it's not possible? Let's cover the possible first. If it's not possible, what if he's grabbed you from behind? What if he has you on the floor already? Sometimes kicking in the groin just isn't possible. Okay, what if it's not appropriate? So, let's say a guy approaches you in a bar and he's just been over friendly, puts his arm around you or wants to chat. First thing is, don't get in the situation in the first place if you don't want to be in it. The second thing is, say no. Make it a clear no so he knows. Don't be all girly about it, like, oh no. Be firm and tell him no. If he still comes after you after that, that is when to use physical defences. If you come to Shinkyu, we'll be able to tell you what different defences you can use for different situations. But make it clear, and only then, if you need to use physical defences, should you kick him in the groin. Myth number 4, after you've broke free from your attacker, you should run. This is actually really poor advice. Most of the time, the person that will attack you will be a young man. Can you consistently outrun young men? I couldn't. What if you're in heels? What if there are obstacles in the way? What if you're in a bedroom? Here's a question for you. Which way do bedroom doors open? Most of the time, it's inwards. That means you have to get away from your attacker, run to the door, grab the door handle, step back and pull it, and then run. We've actually done experiments, running experiments, where a guy has started on the floor, girl's been standing with an inward opening door, and the guy has caught the girl every single time. So what should you do instead of running? You should hurt or incapacitate your attacker. So what if the guy is bigger than you, which is most likely to be the case? This is an easy answer. Soft targets. Eyes, throat, groin. It does not matter how big of a guy he is. His eyes are no stronger than anybody else. His throat is no stronger than anybody else's. And his groin is definitely not stronger than anybody else's. And finally, myth number 5, it won't happen to me. Okay, so women don't want to think about being raped or sexually assaulted, but the sad fact is that 1 in 10 will be raped and 1 in 4 women in the UK will be a victim of physical domestic violence. It's actually surprising when women talk to each other and tell each other stories, how they're telling the story and then somebody says, yep, that happened to me too. They feel less alone and less isolated. We shouldn't live in fear that this will happen to us. So you can come to Shinkyu and we can teach you what to do to be less afraid. Learning self-defense is not only reassuring, it's empowering. So if you want to get fit and you want to be empowered, click on the link below and come and see what Shinkyu can do for you.